This is an online software review of the database ACE, Autism Curriculum Encyclopedia. My school uses ACE to make programs and lesson plans in relation to our student IEP goals. ACE is an online web-based software to gain access of all student programs and lesson plans anywhere with internet access, and so it is not a software that you need to download. They have permanent records of all learners that are saved and backed up easily. ACE was designed for teachers and administrators as well as other school professionals to provide easy access to applied behavior analysis procedures with effective and efficient ways to understand student performance data. ACE is produced by the company New England Center for Children, NECC. The cost for ACE depends on the amount of students that you are planning to purchase it for and this type of setting that you're in. So if you are in a public school setting, a private school setting, in-home, or in a clinic. If you click on About the ACE and you go down to Assessment, it will show you that first you begin off with a core skills assessment to understand the ability levels of each student and see where they are at before they begin getting lesson plans that you have set up for them, as well as setting up a preference assessment to discovering items, activities, or events that are potential reinforcers to each student that you work with. The subject and curriculum provides assessment tools, lesson plans, teaching materials, and student performance reports for over 1,300 skill sets. Each curriculum and lesson plan is individualized based on students' skill set, and the curriculum bank that are set include discrimination, recreation, social skills, health and safety, community, academic, self-help skills, vocational, and leisure skills. Data sheets are provided as well as related materials such as pictures and/or worksheets. And the lessons that are designed to maximize independence and promote generalization within a classroom, within outside, in a bathroom, or wherever you're doing these lessons or wherever you're running these programs, they need to be promoted in a generalized manner so that the student does not just able to do it at their desk, they're able to do it wherever they may go. Also, these programs need to be measurable goals so that you're able to track them. Below at the bottom of this page, you'll see a brief lesson plan, and it will show you how the lesson plans are set up. And so it will show you, for this example, is follow one-step direction. You'll have the stimuli, which could be give me a high five, walk to book bag, stand up, touch the floor, whichever you choose. And it will show you how this prompting procedure will be, step 0, 1, 2, and 3. And then how you need to follow that. Next, if you go to Data and Reporting, it will show you how you are easily able to access reports for individual student progress on each lesson, as well as identify when the students are struggling and when there needs to be changes in their program, such as if their progress is steadily going down and they are not increasing in the steps, then you need to take a step back and change the program necessary to each student. Next, you'll see challenging behaviors, and it will show you that you're able to define and track and evaluate challenging behaviors for students, such as self-interest behaviors and elopement or tantrum behaviors and your things like that. You're able to record and graph by frequency, duration, latency, percentage of intervals, and percentage of opportunities. Now, if you go up to the top and click on School and Educators, and you scroll down, it'll show you which people use this type of curriculum, and it's mostly board-certified behavior analysts. Public school districts do use it. Very many private schools use it because it is a very big curriculum used for students in ABA schools and in therapy and in schools which I work for. We are a private school for children with autism, but we use ACE as a curriculum because we do run ABA services. And then there's also a section for educational consultants and therapists as well. Since I do use this program every day at work, I use it to run lessons, programs, track data for my students, so I've had a lot of experience using it. I believe that once it's fully trained on, it does take a little bit of time to get trained on by a board-certified behavior analyst, but once you're fully trained, I do believe that with everything that ACE has to offer, the directions are fairly clear to follow and for specific age groups and depending on the child. The directions are specifically stated on the brief sheets for each program, clearly explaining expectations, materials, and instructions, as well as providing help and specific prompting procedures if necessary. And right now I'm actually going to log in for you guys and show you what it looks like from my view, because I do use this every day. There we go. So it does function very well, and it's very bug-free because it is on the internet, so it's not a software that you have to download and add more space to your computer. You just hop on to necc.org, and it automatically comes up onto the web-based software for you. Since ACE is a tool for teachers, it is not the most enjoyable program for teachers to use, but it is evidence-based, and the teachers are collecting data and tracking students' progress, so this is more for the teacher side rather than the student side. Graphics and animations are set by ACE beforehand, but since each program is individualized, you can change the materials to adhere to the students' needs and wants. Depending on if they are bored with a program and they're not just getting it, you are able to change it to something that they may like more. For example, you could use, instead of chips, cracker, candy, to make sure that they are understanding the labeling portion, you are able to change it to something that they like on the iPad, like Dora the Explorer, SpongeBob. You can adhere to them by using those types of pictures because they're more likely to label those correctly because they see them every day rather than chips, cracker, candy, because that's not something that they really care about that in the moment or is not reinforcing to them. So this is what it looks like when I log in. And typically I'd go up here to the curriculum and it would show a student's name, and which I cannot click on for this purpose, but it'll show a student's names, all of his IEP goals, and all of his curriculums that I am currently using for him. And then there's the core skills assessment, like I said earlier, that you can use to understand where the student's ability and skill level is before you begin programs with them. And then also the preference assessment to see what reinforces to them. Administering a preference assessment allows you to find other things that they do like. And then the challenging behaviors is where I record any behaviors and frequency, duration, latency. ACE also is a program that is for students ages 3 to their adulthood. I do have students in my class right now that are 8 to 12, but in our school altogether we run through an adult program, and our adult program uses ACE as well, and it's very effective for them to continue going on and using and tracking data to help them progress in daily living skills, community living skills, as well as independence in certain areas that they need help in or that they lack. It covers a large range of skill sets and skill levels for students. So it could be a student that is doing math and reading and science on a very high level, or it could be a nonverbal student that is not very good at receptive and expressive labeling. So you start off with things that are very, very small for them, and then they are able to work up and progress forward. And it's a really good program for students with autism and multiple disabilities to help track their data. And if you need to show evidence-based to a program, to a consultant, or anything like that, you're able to print off reports and show that to them and track their progress throughout the time.